It's all about lamentation. But you know what? Austin is going to join us now on this segment. I won't be talking about the lady who will be in action. Discuss our throw. Chinwe Okoro, of course, she'll be in action today. The 110 meters hurdle, Antoine Hicks, he will also be in action. Then the Tigers also in Brazil. Austin, good morning. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning, Cecilia. I'm super. Still rooting for Team Nigeria, keeping the faith, believing that we might just win a medal.
Your faith is not thinning out at all. You're still very full, right?
Well, what else can I do but just believe? Another disappointing night we had last night when Miriam Usman couldn't step up in our weightlifting event. You mentioned your friend, Antoine Hicks, will be running today. Chinwe Okoro, she's in good spirits. I spoke to her about 3 days ago, and she said she's fine. She likes how she's been performing this season. She'll be in action, blessing Akagari. Oh my God, another opportunity for her to, correct what went wrong in the 100 meters. The Tigers, look at that. The Tigers, Nigeria basketball right there. That's what we're rooting for, the Tigers today to see if they can do it against the home team, Brazil. So, it's looking good. Yes, you had Adam of Young with the way we prepared. Nobody should be expecting a medal, but it will be good for us to win a medal. If not win a medal, at least get to the medal zone, get to the finals. Yeah. It would have been lovely to see a Nigerian, in the 100 meters final. We saw Ben Mete from Cote d'Ivoire. We also saw the South African, and they ran good time. There's just something about making it to the final. The beast in you just comes out, and they just want to try and do the impossible. So let's just wish every Nigerian that will be participating today all the best. Let's go back to last week, Cecilia. The story of Chiarika. She raced in the final D. The category C and D is the rankings level. She missed out of the medals level. It's final, love lost. Overall, she finished 28th, but in the final D, she finished second. And she's getting a lot of praise. Yeah, people like her. She's brought enough awareness to the sport in Africa. She goes back to school hoping to continue, winning. So we need to just consolidate on those aspects that we've seen positives at the Olympics.
Yeah, I just hope we can do that.
Austin, I don't know if you watched Wade Van Niekerk shatter Michael Johnson's record, 400 meters record. That was just very, very impressive.
Phenomenal, Tayo. Phenomenal. And it's been so promising, even before the World Championship in Moscow, and he has stayed focused. He's a young lad, and it is a reflection of what South Africa is doing for the athletics. What a story of Van Niekerk. And right from the start from his heat, you could tell he just comes out there, eyes on the prize. He wants to do the unthinkable. And then when he shattered that record, oh my God, Tayo, I was so excited. It wasn't just victory for South Africa. It was victory for Africa.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge one. I mean, we'll watch the race and we're just amazed at what it was able to do. Breaking and also setting another record. Now, let's go back to our athletes in action today. Now, Antoine Hicks, 110 meters hurdles, he broke the national record in Saple right there. Well, right now, he's going to be racing against the very best. I mean, he says during the interview we did with him that, look, he has run against these guys before. It's no big deal. What's your take on him?
I wish you could play him that interview before he goes on the track. But it's okay. I think, Antoine, look, the philosophy of optimism is what you need when you compete at a big stage, because the very best of athletes are right here in Rio, and everyone, is trying to make a name for themselves and their countries. Antoine Hicks, I like his steady progress. Breaking the national record is also something special, but he needs to consolidate. He needs to step up on the big stage, and he has an opportunity to do that today. Can he make it to the final? Cecilia, let him do the first one and then scale that, and then we'll take it from there. But with what he has turned out, its timing, he can do it, Cecilia. Let's keep our faith for what we know very well.
Chinase is going to ask you one question. Now, Chinase, I mean, Austin is having a lot of optimism here. I mean, maybe you can just shoot one.
A lot of optimism.
I'm talking to Chinase right now.
What I like to ask himself
about the Tigers, he's actually supporting them. Yeah. How does he? Do you really think, Austin? Do you really think that we have a chance against the Brazilians, knowing that number one, they are the host nation, and two, they also need this win to get into the quarterfinals?
Chinasia, they need this win, but they've not been fantastic. They've also been a very shaky team.
Yes.
I just want to get into that hole and see how it will be, because the Brazilians have been rooting for Nigeria. If you go to the hall, they are always rooting for Nigeria. Today they go against Nigeria, and I'm wondering where it will be. Of course, they will shift loyalty to their team. Can the Tigers win today after what they did against Croatia? Yes, all they need to do is believe in themselves. Remember, guys, I've been saying that there's just this thing about that team that they've not been ready to go the extra mile. They turned up the heat against Croatia, and we saw the beast in them came out. I think if they do the same against Brazil, look at Brazil and Spain. They were just, come on, sheer luck that made them, get that victory. They've also been, trying to, patch up with their basketball. The Tigers, we're not so sure yet if they can qualify, but win this today, and let's see what we can do from there.
It's going to be very critical, because the game against Croatia, if we go back to that game again, I mean, when the coach called for a timeout 5 minutes to the end of the game, he said, look, this is your time. You got 5 minutes to make history. And they went back on court, and of course, did something fantastic. I mean, the last few seconds, the 3 points, I don't know where he came from. They weren't getting it right for a while, but they were able to do that. Maybe they can actually achieve that also and not be under pressure to actually win. They can actually surprise the Brazilians, because the Brazilians, the game they played against Argentina, it was just on and off, overtime. It went overtime twice before, the Argentines, of course, superpower. They finally won that one.
That's character for you. That's character. The Argentines used to win that one. Look at how did Spain beat Nigeria? Character also. How can you win the second and third quarter and then lose the fourth quarter unexpectedly? That's the extra thing I've been saying, that sometimes you have all the skills, you have everything going for you, but maybe it's just teamwork, maybe it's cohesion, and a lot of character that you need to, wrap up victory. And that's what the Tigers have been missing. I'm so excited that they needed just 5 minutes to do it against Croatia. They might just need 2 minutes to do it against Brazil today.
Okay, hopefully they can actually do that. Also, you know what? We'll just leave you and say you go take a nap, right? It's 5 a.m. over there. We know that.
Thank you.
All right. Funke Oshonaike, she's been talking about preparations for Rio, and they went to Rio, and right now she just couldn't make it to the main rounds, but somehow she's happy, especially carrying the Nigerian flag. I know being Nigerian flag bearer, it's something that will be a moment she'll be remembered for the rest of her life. Let's listen to her talking about herself and also Team Nigeria.
Nothing happened. We did our best. In Olympics, we have only the best here. We did our best. It's just like Adam, she played against number 30-something girl in the world. She played very well. I'm telling you, she lost 4-2. But for me, unfortunately, after the opening ceremony, I was so tired. Because my first match, I won. Even with tiredness, I won luckily. Because I couldn't carry my body. And the same day, I had to play. But normally, the 15-year-old girl, she doesn't have to beat me. But I couldn't control my body. And I think that is sport. But like they said, the participation is very, very important. So I'm still very happy.
Funke Oshonaike, tell me, what's next now for women's table tennis in Nigeria after the games?
My president is planning a lot of things. Like when we get back to Nigeria now, the youth are planning to go for world championships in, I think, Morocco, South Africa. And so they are going to be in camp, which Segun Toriola is going to be the coach. So they're going to be in camp for like 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, then maybe they will continue training like that before they go for the competition. And I'm trying to work something with my association. Maybe there's a way to work something out, because I'm actually concerned about the women. A lot of things going on right now. There's a lot of, like I normally said, there's a lot of distraction, And I believe they need somebody like me that has done that, I've been there, I've done it. You understand what I'm saying? But I believe something is gonna come out. I don't know right now. I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of things to do. I'm a family woman too, I cannot just leave my base and come back to Nigeria without me getting something. I got to pay some bills, So I'm just still waiting for, my association is ready, but it's just Nigeria. Anytime Nigeria is ready for me, I'm ready to go too.
Tell me that experience. How did you feel being the flag bearer for Team Nigeria?
Wow, wonderful. That is the difference between Funke and the youth of nowadays. Why growing up, the best thing for me is to wear Nigerian attire, to represent my country. I want to represent my country first before that ego, that cash, So for me right now, carrying that flag for Nigeria is like a very big privilege for me. I won't lie to you, in Germany, I'm very, very popular in Germany right now because everybody is writing about it. Because I carry the flag for Nigeria, and one of our guys from Germany, Timo Boll, carry German flags too, you know. So they are talking about us in Germany. So for me, I'm so happy. Even though I had to play the next year, I had to let it go. That the most important thing for me, I'm a Nigerian to the core, and I'm very, very proud of my country, Nigeria. Even though a lot of things happen right now, I don't care, because I know things are going to get better. We just have to keep praying for Nigeria, you know. And for me to carry that flag of Nigeria, oh my God, for me it's a dream come true, and I will forever cherish for the rest of my life.
Okay, now let's go back to what's happening around the world right now. At the weekend, I mean, it was all gone blazing for Liverpool and Arsenal, and of course Manchester United. 3-1 win over Bournemouth. Now, Chinasia, you know, we saw everything coming. I mean, Jose Mourinho wasn't going to lose his opening game. It was likely that Wenger was going to lose his opening game, especially when he's putting his hopes on a young star, 20-year-old defender from Championship side and everything and all that. So, Premiership, I mean, upset. What's your take on the first day?
Oh, well, not upset. I don't think I can remember any right now. But
really? Leicester City, come on!
You know what? I told some people that I wonder what the odds will be unless they're getting relegated this season. It's funny because it's football. You know, the way Leicester went all the way to win the Premiership last season. If you had looked at the season before, it wasn't as if Leicester wasn't playing good football, but they were just not getting the results. They were playing well, but they were not, some way, somehow, they were just being unlucky.
The big teams were playing well, you know, also. The big teams were playing well.
So now, the last season, it happened for them. Yeah. They were just getting the result. They lost only 3 matches the whole of last season, twice to Arsenal, once to Liverpool. And now they started again against Hull City, and they didn't get a victory. Well, let's just say, let's believe it's a hangover or something. But I actually don't put Leicester to figure in the title challenge this season. I don't think they will be doing that. So that's it for Leicester. Hull City showed that they wanted it more. Hull City, they don't have a coach.
Exactly, no new players.
Trying to get new owners and everything. In fact, the substitute bench was full of young players. I don't think they made any substitution in that game. They used the 11 they had and they got the result. So good one for Hull City. For Mourinho and Manchester United, that Manchester United team looking like a Mourinho team because they were just efficient. You know, defending well, going forward, getting goals and everything. And the thing I saw about this Manchester United team that had been lacking when the game against Bournemouth. If it was last season, Bournemouth, they would have gone into that game believing they would beat Manchester United. But for some reason, there was like a fear factor now back to Manchester United. Bournemouth, they didn't start that game with the belief we're going to win. I'm going to beat you. But last season when they played Manchester United at the Vitality Stadium, they felt they could beat Manchester United. But I think the fear factor is slowly returning to Manchester.
Who brought it in?
Not just Mourinho, and the fact that he had Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you know, players all over the place. So good one for Manchester United.
Okay.
Arsenal and Liverpool. That was I spoke to a lot of Arsenal fans before the game. Trust me, they were not. They were actually expecting something like this. A whole lot of Arsenal fans I spoke to before the game. We're talking about the Premiership season starting. They were all like, I'm not expecting anything because of the fact that Wenger has not agreed to go and get players. So Liverpool came there, did the business. We saw how Liverpool were rampant in the preseason, and they a lot of pace going up front. Mane, Coutinho, Firmino, and they did Arsenal in. And thankfully, Arsenal were able to bring down the scoreline. I
think that's what was about. That its point was 3-1. I was like, what's going to happen here? But Jose Mourinho, I mean, Chinasia says the team were efficient, but he still says, well, the team actually made a little mistake. That's the reason why they considered that goal. Let's listen to him.
I'm really happy. I think it was a very good week of work for us. We knew the first 15-20 minutes would be like this, with them playing at a high intensity, pressing a lot in the middle of the pitch. So we had to control. After that, we start finding our spaces to play, and in the second half, I think it was a very complete performance because the first goal gave us the confidence. We were looking for more. We were playing very fluent and very objective, and the attacking players were all in the game. I thought the third goal was the end of the game, but wasn't. One mistake, one goal, game open again. This is the Premier League. You make mistakes, you are punished by quality. Every team, quality. You make one mistake, you don't press the ball, you don't defend the inside, you are in trouble. So I thought 3-0, game over. Not over. We are going to fight for the title.